Hello, Kevilmaniacs. This is o.Rocks, and welcome to another podcast video. So today I'm about to talk about what we encountered with before. Even if your Kevilmaniacs are around in the 80s, were born or actually around in the 80s, or you recognize or something. So today's topic I want to talk about probably is pretty famous about it is the video game crash of 1983. So I heard not much, but some about the crash of 1983. Like when video games is about to die at that age or at this year, and it's pretty not good. It's maybe it's because the people lost faith of video games and they decide to not to have them or anything. Probably it's failing up from the companies themselves from those years or something like that. In the 70s, or actually from the precursor days of video games, um, they made those little those radar like games. I don't even know. I see some of them on YouTube to know what it looks like. Like I don't know if it counts as a very first game or is it a calculator that counts as a game or something like that. I don't even know what that is. But in later years, probably you guys know about this. The Atari age has begun in actually in somewhere in uh, 64, is it 65, 1965, 66? I don't remember. I remember Atari. I don't know, in my mind is the first company who make gaming consoles for computers or something like that. I think, I don't know. And then years later, this time, you Kevilmaniacs know about this, and I know too because of, well, history and stuff somewhat. You guys already know the Atari 2600 became the all famous and amazing gaming console ever, way better than Magnavox Odyssey, um, and other gaming devices that were selling in stores from years ago. And during those years in 1977 from Atari, it became a huge success for their 2600 console. Before they call it the 2600, they call it the Video Computer System. Before they changed it to 2600 on their Atari console. Like, it's a console with wood grain on the front. Like it's called the wood. People call it the wood age of video games. Like they always make things made out of wood. Like the TV is made out of wood. The Atari with the wood grain on the front. Yeah, that's that's pretty interesting. And I remember there's competition during those years when Atari became famous of their 2600 system. There's the ColecoVision and the Intellivision from Mattel. They're trying to have a constant war against one another. Like it's like a triple threat against the classic consoles from the 70s and through the 80s. Uh, and also during those years, um, and I remember they made the 5200 from Atari, like to make it a bit more advanced than the original, but somehow it flopped. Like it completely failed from Atari. Well, the games are pretty advanced, and it's like the upgraded version of the 2600 version games that they made already back in the day. Um, but here's something that failed on Atari's part. The system itself is too big, and the joystick is completely defected. Like like you don't like while you were playing the game and somewhat, yeah, you're having fun and all, but and the next day when you're about to play whatever game you're playing, like Pac-Man or Missile Command or whatever, the controller stops working for any like for no reason. Trying to able to make it work, trying to move around the joystick, and it does not work. It just completely like messed up the whole system and everything. Oh yeah, and also um during the 5200 era, even though the console was around, and same with the Atari 2600, even though the gaming series of different systems from Atari, ColecoVision, and Mattel's Intellivision, um, people started to get sick of video games, and also there are games that are very infamous that people remembers and they don't like at all. They despise those games that considered it as bad versions. The only two games that I know that were pretty bad, and well, it says, well, one is semi good and semi bad, or like it's half good and half bad, and the last and final game that hits that puts the nail in Atari's coffin. It I'll tell you that right now. The first game that is halfly good and halfly bad. I don't know if halfly is a word. I don't know. Let me know, Cavalmaniacs. The first game that I thought it was okay, but people think it's good or people think it's bad. I'm talking about the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man. They did not make the replica of the arcade game. Like, even though there are ghosts and Pac-Man himself, but they made Pac-Man have like eyes instead of a full round character like we know from the arcades. But they try to make it more a little detail, like, you know, like a character feeling, a character, the kind of stuff. But the maze is bizarre. Like, it does not replicate from the arcade, and also it does not change. Well, I understand the arcade version of Pac-Man does not change the maze. It still kept the blue maze as we already remembered, and we still love it. It's just that the layouts of the Atari of the 2600 version of Pac-Man is not that memorable. It's just like it's a free-for-all thing, and the square represent as fruit doesn't look like fruit. It's a square. That is weird. So even though the game has some flaws here and there, but to me, in my opinion, Kelvomaniacs, it's okay. Like, it's not like good or terrible. It's just, it's alright. It's cool. It's okay. And, oh man, I don't want to bring you guys back on this one. If you don't want to hear it, please skip it to the end of the video. I don't want to give you guys the trauma that you've been through before around in your time. If you're around in the 80s. The second game that I understand that game is completely horrible, and that game leads to the crash of 1983, and it's none other than E.T. Oh my god, E.T. When I saw that gameplay on YouTube, like, damn, it's pretty bad. It like I heard that there's some confusing controls of this game. Also, the confusing layouts of the game. Like, you're sure you can play as E.T. the alien, and none of the players don't even know how that plays out or works. That's all I could think of, and I could tell why it's horrible. It's a sucky game. It's terrible. It sucks. And And I don't want to end up going to plan on playing that, because I don't want to make you guys feel traumatized of a horrible gaming experience from that game. Oh yeah, let's see. Hold on, couple maniacs. I was trying to search on something. I hope you guys won't mind about that. And I heard that in North America, for the video on a video game crash in '83. There's some severe recessions of VG Industries, lasting from 1983 to 1985, because there are some market saturations with low quality stuff, to like increasing competition for any console that was for home and everything, and it's crazy, and it's a troubling year for consumers who has lost the feeling of enjoying playing video games. But Nintendo, the company themselves, revived the video game era when Atari, ColecoVision, and Television and other games from so many decades ago have died out because of the crash. Nintendo brought the video games back to life with their gaming creations. And in 1983, Nintendo made Nintendo Famicom in Japan, and they brought the console to the United States and Europe and changed it to the Nintendo Entertainment System. And thanks to Nintendo, they brought the gaming lifespan back to life. And we finally enjoy playing video games ever since. Same goes with Sony PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox and Windows computers. Microsoft Windows computers, or PC stuff, to play games on a computer too. So that is pretty awesome. And I'm not much of a historian, but I'm just want to give out some of the things and all, trying to understand it all. Anyway, that is the end of this podcast. Thank you everyone so much for listening. Sorry if I shortened this podcast that early or that time, but don't worry, I'm still planning on coming back doing more YouTube videos. Trust me, just a little bit longer, and don't worry, I will return back. I promise you, Cavalmaniacs. So don't worry, Cavalmaniacs, I will return back making videos, and I hope you will enjoy the playlist I'm going to create, or playlists or something like that. That depends. So, and again, thank you everyone so much for listening for today's podcast. So this is O.Rocks saying shalata, and thank you all for listening. Take care. It's my birthday, son. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Woo!